Hey guys, so hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's staying on track. I think today's the 15th of January. I turned 24 in like 6 days. Normally I cheat on Mondays, but my birthday's on Tuesday, so I think I'm gonna cheat on Tuesday. I wanted to weigh in. I weighed in last Friday, and I weighed 202. Okay, I busted ass in the gym, and I was hoping for a 200 on Monday, but I know this is totally TMI. I hadn't used the restroom in maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days. And so, yeah, I weighed 206. And that was BS. And I'm going to tell you, I don't stress about the scale a lot. But that day I was pissed because I knew I weighed under that. But it came out as 206, whatever. Busting ass this week. After that, I had a cheat meal. And let me tell you, it's so funny. I had a cheat meal. And, I mean, it's crazy how the foods that you liked and you used to eat so much, or my cheat meal, basically, bad food, whatever, food that my body's not used to eating, like the effect it has on my body now. Like the next 2 days, I was so sick, but it was so worth it. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm pushing super hard for this week. I'm hoping for a 200 weigh-in. I've plateaued for a while, guys. It's not, one thing that frustrates me is when I see people and they're like, well, how much have you lost now? And I'm like, oh, I'm still at the same weight. And they're like, well, did you stop working out? No, I have not stopped working out. And I think that's very rude if you asking if I've stopped working out. Like, if only you knew how hard I am on myself. Like, I bust ass, guys. I really do. But anyways, so yesterday in Bible study, we were talking about one of the readings had to do with gluttony. I think I'm saying that right. I didn't know the definition of this until maybe 2 years ago. And basically it kind of hit home because one of the personal questions was, how does food affect you, or does food have an effect on you, or something like that? And I was just like, God is talking to me, right? I mean, I can go on, it's crazy. I talk about this stuff every day. Food, and everybody there had whatever they had to say. One said food makes them sad. One said food makes them happy. One said food makes them angry, or it can make them angry when they don't get what they want. And I just think it's crazy how food can have such control over somebody's life. And I can definitely tell you that food used to control my life, okay? And at times it still does. I feel like it still does control my life, or it can control my life. And it's sad to think of it like that. Something so, it's just food. It's just a slice of pizza. How am I going to let that affect me, you know? But one thing that I'm not perfect. My phone's going to die. I think it'll still record though. I'm not perfect. I don't want you to think that I think I'm perfect. Or you to think that, let me just say this. It does not get easier. You just get stronger. You train your body and you train your mind to be strong, basically. And I think me being on this journey with my family has taught me so much about this, about food and eating. And I'm not putting anybody down at all, because like I said, there's times where I'm weak as fuck, and I'm just but so my youngest brother, who's 16, he'll say he doesn't like going with my dad because he knows that my dad will offer him something or to go eat somewhere and he'll eat it, right? Because he has no willpower. Now my mom has no willpower either. I love her because she's so cute, and it's kind of like she's like a little kid. But she has no willpower either. And my youngest brother, or no, my younger brother Austin, who's like 19, he's lost like 130 pounds. He has willpower, but see, his thing is he knows he can work it off because he's a guy and he knows how his body is. He knows in here that, yeah, if he eats like a whole pizza, the next 2 days he just has to eat clean and like train super hard, and he'll be okay. Whereas to me, if I were to eat like half a pizza or even just a few slices, like, and I get on the scale like in a few days, it's gonna show. It does show. Everybody's different, and that's one thing you need to understand too. I'm not saying that I have like a lot of willpower, but I am definitely stronger. I have been stronger. I'll tell you that. When I first started, I had so much willpower, like it amazed me. Like I would go months without a cheat meal, but it does have an effect up here. This leads me to my Facebook rant. I totally like had this long freaking. Anyways, okay, so a while back during the holidays, I went to a relative's house, and this relative always overfeeds us, right? Not out of being mean. It's just like, I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with being Hispanics. And they were constantly they always offer food to us, okay? And they kept on they had menudo, right? And I was like, oh, I'm not going to eat any. And then I was just like, I don't even like menudo, okay? But I was like, you know what? I'll just taste some. So I got very little just to taste. And then they kept bringing out these hot, fresh corn tortillas. Oh my gosh, okay? I was just like, And another relative got there, and they like started bringing out a bunch of tortillas for that relative, right? And I was just, every time they'd bring some out, I'd get one or I'd get a piece of one. And I was like, they told me, they were like, stop eating them. And I was like, I can't, like, you keep bringing them, like, stop making them. And they were like, just stop eating, don't eat them, just don't do it. And I'm just like, I can't, like, I'm weak, And my relative, has struggled with weight as well, like with being obese as well, like their whole life. So I know how they felt, you know what I'm saying? And my point was, look how far, I'm not very like, I'm not trying to show off, but look how far I've come, okay? I've lost 190 pounds, possibly over 190 pounds, 191 pounds. And I still have breaking points. I still get weak, okay? Think how this person feels that has no willpower, and you just you're just offering it. Like, that irritated me, and I told him, I was just like, I'm weak. And they just didn't understand, and they just kind of laughed about it. Guys, if somebody, okay, food can be an addiction, okay? And this is a completely different, like, going into it, like, really deep, but food can be an addiction, and I feel like me learning about this with my family is I can see everybody's different. I have a family member that feels that they are addicted to food sometimes, and we've kind of figured this out, and the way I see it is, if you put a recovering alcoholic, if you put a bottle of whiskey right there and kind of just like, they're gonna want it, okay? Some might be strong and some might be weak. They're gonna want it. If you put crack in front of a recovering crack addict, like, they're gonna be feeding for it. They want it, And everybody's different. That's why I say everybody's different. And anyways, it just kind of irritated me that they didn't understand this, and they kind of laughed about it, and I'm just not strong. Like, I need to just, I'm weak now. And I am weak, and I can say that, But if you see somebody struggling, help them out. Another thing is, don't be so negative about it, like about having to eat healthy. Like, don't be negative about it. If you're negative about everything and you constantly like, I can't, like, oh, I can't do this. Like, okay, I used to say with school, like, I can't do this. Like, I'm never going to be able to do this. Like, if I constantly keep telling myself that, I'm not going to be able to do it. If I constantly keep telling myself, like, oh, I can't do a push-up. I can't run a mile. Guys, I'm running a mile and a half. Not that that's a lot, but coming from somebody that could not run at all for longer than like 15 seconds, like, that's a lot, okay? You have to be positive, guys. And if you see somebody struggling, like, please help them out. Like, encourage them. don't make fun of them. Like, do not make fun of them. Like, not even behind their backs. That pisses me off, all right? If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I hope you guys are doing amazing. I will upload another video soon. Keep pushing, guys. I know it's hard. Believe me, I know my arms were shaking today in today's workout. You just got to push, guys. We got this. I'm not even lying when I tell you we got this. Hope y'all have a great week or weekend. I'll see y'all later.